Good morning, all my beautiful angels. Happy October. I hope that you all had an amazing weekend. It's me, your girl Shyla, back with another video. Today's video is going to be kind of fun, or I guess kind of dumb, just depends on how you think about it. But today, we are going to be discussing some of the paranormal experiences that I've had, which I thought was perfect because it's October 1st. Now, before we get started, before we get into the fun of it, take a second, like and subscribe down below. Make sure you hit the little bell notification. That way you get notifications whenever I post a new video. And also, don't forget to check out my Instagram. I post there every day. I'm going to be posting there a lot because I'm going to be going to Canada the next couple of weeks. So there's going to be a lot of posts coming up. This video all happened because of this sign behind me. I bought the sign for Halloween. I put it up. I thought it was funny, but I thought it was very fitting at the same time. And when I get into my stories, you can decide if it's very fitting. But my girl Sky saw the post and told me I should totally post a video. About my paranormal experiences. If you don't know who she is, her Instagram is Skybree. You should definitely go on there. I'm going to link her Instagram. I'm going to link her Instagram for her tarot card readings and her other witchcraft that she is into. And she does all kinds of amazing stuff. She's such an amazing person. I absolutely love her. Apparently she also does love spells, so I got a couple people in mind. You never know what might happen with that. I might have to employ her services and... I kind of feel like if I do it, though, it's going to be like the craft and it's going to end up biting me because it didn't work out very well in the craft, the little love spell. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Anyway, I digress. We are going to get in the stories. I'm going to try to not make this too terribly long. I'm not going to start with the ones that I have had when I was younger because I've had experiences my entire life. I'm going to start when I was older. I'm going to try to remember the ones that I can remember as best as I possibly can. I have more than the ones that I am talking about, so I'm just going to tell you about a few of them. Most of the paranormal stuff I had that started after my mom passed away. My mom passed away when I was 26. I was pretty young. She passed away of cancer, and after that I started having paranormal experiences. Now, I mean, it depends. Some of them were just noises. I am always hearing noises. I am always hearing noises in the house that I live in now. I always heard noises in the houses I lived in before, and it's not just normal noises, like it's weird noises. I mean, and if you're one of those people that can explain things away like my son is and tell me that I'm dumb, whatever. I believe in this stuff. I'm not fucking with it. And you are not going to see me up in my house with a fucking Ouija board, you know, tempting fate. It's not going to happen. I ain't fucking around with this shit. I am not about to set up any cameras and try to record shit because I feel like poking at it is only going to make stuff worse. So, we are going to talk a little bit about this. Now, one of the things I've had happen, and I've had this happen on multiple occasions, is I have been woken up to my mom's voice calling my name. And it hasn't happened in a long time, but it did happen on several occasions. And it's very, very disturbing in the middle of the night to wake up to that very distinct voice. And it was more of a whisper waking me up to wake up my name. And just talking about it, I kind of get the chills just talking about it. But one vivid memory I remember in the house I lived in before this is we were sitting there on the couch just watching TV. It was pretty late at night, like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And the cars were parked in the garage. And you know how all the cars on the fobs, I don't know now because I don't really mess with my fob because it's, you know, it's keyless. So, but... most of the key fobs have the little panic button, the little fob, the little button that is a picture of a horn, and you press it, and people find it to use their cars in parking lot, and the horn sounds repeatedly. Well, we were sitting there, cars were in the garage, 9 o'clock at night, and for no reason at all, it was like the button was pressed on the fob in my car in the garage. The horn just started going off. It doesn't have a regular alarm on it. I don't keep my cars locked in the garage, obviously, so it's not like something bumped it. I guess something would have to open the door for that to go off, but it was literally like something had pressed the button on the fob. It freaked me out more than I can possibly put into words. In addition to that, in that house is also the house where I had, a lot of the times I was woke up to my mom calling my name, and I do remember a couple occasions waking up to the sound of stuff shuffling around, like there was something else in the room. And I'm not gonna lie, one time I did get brave. I was a little bit younger then, and it was late at night, and I called out to whatever was making the noise, and I called it out, and I don't know why, because that's pretty much just inviting whatever it is to to make your life miserable. And immediately after I did it, I was like, oh my God, why did I do that? So that was in the old house. Now I've lived in this new house for like 5 years, and I've had a lot of stuff go on in this new house here. I'm going to take you in a couple of little things that have happened. So let's start with the first one. Okay guys, for this story, we are going to take a field trip into my bedroom. And I can assure you there is no magic happening here. I'm not going to show you the bedroom because I didn't really feel like cleaning it. And I'm getting kind of close here to the TV because it's super light in here right now. And this story took place at like 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night, but it was really dark. And I wanted you to see over here behind the TV, there's all of this lighting. This little guy right here, this little blue light has a bunch of blue light emitting from it. There's a little ring that lights up. And then there's all of the internet stuff over here, and it's all glowy in the night. It's all glowy and it's all lit up. So what happened with this story is, if you've lived in someplace for a while, I'm sure you know that, I'm sure you're like me and you don't like turn on your lights if you have to go to the bathroom, because you know your house pretty well. So you just kind of come into the dark to go to the bathroom. So I was coming in here, it was about 8, 9 o'clock at night. Like I said, it was totally dark, but all those lights were emanating and glowing from back there. And I got to about right here. And everything went pitch black. It was like a shadow passed in front of all of the lighting that was behind that TV in the room. And I got the biggest chill that went up my spine, because, you know, you're just walking into your room and you see all those lights, and all of a sudden it was like a shadow went right across in front of it, because everything went black and then it lit up again. It was only like a second, but it was long enough to literally freak me out. Okay, that was the first one that happened. Freaky, right? I can't even tell you how much that scared the shit out of me, walking through my room like that and that shadow passing in front of me. It was scary as fuck. Other things that I've had happen here recently, it was probably like a year ago, which is pretty recent. I've lived here a while. I woke up in the middle of the night. It was like 4 in the morning to a knocking at my door in my bedroom. And my son explains it away of, you know, it was just in my dream. I mean, I guess it could have been, but it was enough and real enough to bring me out of a sound sleep. And I thought my son was at my door. Like, I got out of bed and I went and I opened the door because I thought something was wrong, and there was nothing there. And I asked him about it, and he wasn't out of bed. You know, he hears weird things too, but he's one of those logical people. He just explains them away. So that's that story. Now, another story that I had, and this one kind of happened in the middle of the day, which was kind of odd. Does everybody know what fatheads are? Fatheads, they if you don't know, fathead.com, you can get they have pre-made like giant stickers that you can put all over the place. I have one, and I'll put a picture of it right here. I have one that I keep on my wall that's a giant Slytherin emblem. It's been on my wall for like 5 years. It's been up forever, and I love it because it sticks to the wall. It show off my pride, whatever. Well, he had, my son, because this was a while ago. This was after Jurassic World first came out. I got him this giant Indominus Rex for his bedroom, for his computer room. He has 2 rooms. He has his bedroom, his computer room, and this is when he still slept in his bedroom before I bought him a giant love sack, and now he's made his computer room his bedroom. He just sleeps in that all the time. And to be honest, I don't know how he gets out of it. I go in there to talk to him. If I sit in that thing, it's so hard to get out of that thing. Maybe it's just because I'm getting old. Anyway, it was this giant Indominus Rex. It took up like the entire wall. So I put it on the wall in his room, and it was up for a while. And you know, every time I went in there, I would look at it to make sure that it wasn't peeling. I've never had any problems with my Slytherin emblem one peeling, but this one was kind of big, so I checked on it. It was never peeling, anything like that. You know, it wasn't like unsticking from the wall, wasn't starting to curl down. anything weird. And the things that they make, they stick really good. So, I mean, everything is well made. They're expensive. So anyway, so I was sitting on the couch one morning, and he was in his room, not his computer room, his real room, and I heard the sound of, I heard this really loud, like, ripping noise. And I went in there in the room, and the Indominus Rex Fathead was on the floor, like on the floor, like not right next to the wall and not like curled down from the wall. It was literally all off the wall, and like it had been like yanked roughly. And that was the sound that it was made, was like a piece of tape being ripped fast off of something. And again, it brought him out of his room. He came in there to see what happened, and it's not like it was something where it was curling down and curled down several times, and I could see if maybe it just like, you know, curled down and whatnot, but you know, and then part of it was still on the wall, or like it curled down. But no, this was like, and it was fast too. Like the sound of it, it sounded like something was ripped. So kind of creepy, kind of freaky, right? I know. So that's another instance that happened. And now I'm going to tell you about one that happened just the other night, and you can let me know what you think about it. Now, for this experience here that happened, we were out and towards the living room. And out here in the living room, I have this wall that my mom, it's pretty much dedicated to my mom. It's like a nook. It has a bunch of stuff she made. She made those dream catchers, has a whole bunch of stuff. It's got some, you know, some potpourri stuff she made. It has her old walking sticks with the feathers on them. And down here at the bottom, it has her Indian drum, and it has her Indian flute. No, she was not Indian. She was German. But she got super into Indian stuff at one point. I remember, because I was drugged. And if my cousin watches this, he'll attest to this. We were drugged to all kinds of Indian powwows, which were actually pretty fun. And it was pretty funny. Anyway, I digress. So I was laying here. This happened pretty recently. I was laying on the couch. It was like 10 o'clock at night. And down here, you see this drum. Everything's fine. Everything's stationary. Now, this drum here is pretty loud. And it has very distinct sounds that it makes. If you've ever messed with an Indian drum, you get it. And I was sitting here, and the distinct sound that it made was similar to this. Like it had been moved against, it had just been shifted against the wall like that. And it's been sitting in the same place for the last 5 years. It hasn't moved. It was literally like something bumped it and moved it. Freaky, right? Now, when I think about stuff like that, a couple of the things make me wonder. You know, there's the thing with the drum that I just told you about, that you know, because that's my mom's stuff, and that's her little corner that I have set up, and she used to play with that drum before she died. That's how old that drum is. Like, I remember I would go over there for Christmas, and she would be roaming around the house with it, with her drum, beating on it and Indian chanting, because she thought she knew how to Indian chant from the Indian powwows that we went to. And it's loud, and I remember bugging my son with it and waking up like a long time ago. But it hasn't been moved in like 5 years. So there's that, and there's the fact that, you know, the amount of times I've been woken up to her calling my name, that makes me, that a part of you, the logical side of you, would think, oh, well, or I guess not the logical side, but the believer side would say, maybe it's your mom letting you know that she's watching out for you and watching over you and trying to make contact. But the smarter thought on that, because I know better, is that's the kind of tricks that demons like to play, that make you think that they're one thing when they're really another thing, and next thing you know, you're inviting them to stay because you're what they think they are, and you're telling them out loud, you know, okay, yeah, you can go ahead and, oh, I'm so glad you're watching over me, but it's really not what you think it is, and then all kinds of shit happens. Yeah, I know what kind of shit goes on. So in addition to that, the only other things that I am going to throw out there, because there's more, but I could make this video go on forever, is, you know, and it generally happens late at night, is when I'm watching TV, I hear stuff happen in the kitchen, like weird stuff, like the sound of like cabinets closing, or like I've heard like the sound of the fridge door close, and You know, there's some freaky stuff that goes on in my house. There's been freaky stuff that goes on, you know, throughout my life. But and lately it seems to be a lot worse, and I swear to God, and I have told my girl Sky this, that if talking about it and putting it on tape and acknowledging it gives power over whatever's following me, I'm going to find her and give it to her. If it starts getting too strong, I'm going to find it and I'm going to give it to her. That's just what's going to happen. Other than that, I kind of have the chills talking about it all. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys are believers. Let me know your thoughts. If you have paranormal experiences of your own, you know, share them down below. I like to read about them. Other than that, I will be back with another video later on this week, and I hope you guys all have an amazing week. Bye.